Hi friends! Welcome to my channel, On the Mat with Kelsey. Today I have a recovery style class in store for you. This class was designed with skiers and snowboarders in mind. This class is meant to do after a day on the slopes and should be used to stretch out the body, recover from a long day, and prepare maybe for more skiing. I'm here filming this class in beautiful Montana, in the home of our friends who live in Bozeman. We are here on a ski trip, so I need this class myself. Please know that it can also be a great recovery class for other types of leg-focused physical activities, cardio, like running, biking, hiking, etc., etc. So not just for skiers and snowboarders, but I kept some of those ski and snowboarding muscle groups in mind while designing this class. And you don't need a towel, but I recommend it. It'll be a little nice for your knees and help us get a little more length when we stretch out our hamstrings towards the end of class. So a towel or a folded up blanket into a nice square will be a good addition to this class. Let's go ahead and get started in child's pose today. Take your knees as wide as hip distance or a little wider if that feels more comfortable. Untuck your toes and let your hips sink all the way down, closing your eyes, letting your forehead come to the mat. Take a big breath in through your nose and a big exhale out through your mouth, a big sigh. And again, just like that. And a big sigh. If you've been skiing and snowboarding today or recently, you may feel stretched just here in child's pose for your back and your hips. We're going to tap into slow, steady breath in through the nose and out through the nose. For this class, I'm going to cue counting breath. So as we inhale in, we inhale for a count of 4. We pause for 1 breath or 1 moment. And then exhaling for a count of 4. And again, finding 1 count of pause. So it'll look kind of like this as we breathe in. 2, 3, 4, pause, hold the breath. And slowly out. 2, 3, 4, and pause. And again, inhale, 2, 3, 4, and pause, breathing out through your nose, 2, 3, 4, and pause. Taking 3 more rounds just like that. Know that if counting isn't for you, just think long inhale and long exhale. I find that counting is, for me, wonderful to calm the mind. It gives the mind something to focus on, and it allows your body to relax without your mind jumping around to a lot of different things. With your next inhale, press into your palms, and we're going to rotate up through cat back shape. So as we're rotating up to tabletop, pushing weight down into your hands, push your shoulder blades towards the sky, drop your head. Once you've come all the way up into tabletop, we continue to rotate forward, allowing your hips to sink down towards the floor. Put weight straight down into your hands. Allow the chest to reach forward and through. We're in a cobra shape here. Now activate your feet. Push into the pinky toe sides of your feet. Push the tops of your feet into the mat. Active legs. Now push down into your palms. Shoulders squeeze down and back. So active in our shoulders, and our hands, our upper body, and active in our feet, our legs, our lower body. That allows space for the middle, the low back, to have a little bit of space. With the exhale, pull the belly button towards the spine, coming back into tabletop. And now let the belly tilt towards the floor, cow pose, hips up and back, and sink your hips towards your heels. Back into child's pose. We'll move like that slow with the breath. 2 more times. Inhale, push into your hands, find cat shape in your back, all the way up to tabletop. And then exhale, allow the hips to float down and forward. Strong legs, push into the tops of your feet. Activate your legs and push down into your palms. Shoulders go up and back. Release through the low back. Exhale, chin to chest, find tabletop. Then let the belly reach toward the floor, hips tilt up and back, and slowly tug the hips down towards the heels. Child's pose. Breathe in and out. Again, just like that, inhaling through cat pose. 2, 3, 4. Exhale, allow the hips to sink towards the floor. Feet are active. Creating space for our low back is really important after a day of skiing and snowboarding. Snowboarding especially, you absorb a lot of the impact in your lower back, your middle back. So we want to give it some love. Cow shape, sink the hips down and back. Breathing in and out. On an inhale, coming up to tabletop. Finding a shoulder opener next, taking your left hand directly under your chest on the mat. Inhale the right hand high to the sky. Thread the needle. Exhale, right hand threads underneath the left. Bringing your right shoulder to the mat, bringing the right side of your face, your right ear to the mat. Keep your hips high and find that even breath in. 2, 3, 4. Pause. And exhale, sink a little deeper. 3, 4, and pause. Left hand back under your face and slowly reverse out of the posture. Extend the arm overhead and back into tabletop. Same thing, other side, right hand down. Left arm extends up. And exhale, thread the needle. I find I hold a lot of tension in my shoulders, my upper back, and my neck after a day of skiing and snowboarding, especially if it's really cold and your shoulders are up by your ears and the lift line while you're waiting. Weight back down through the right hand. Extend the left arm all the way up. And exhale, back down to tabletop. Walk your hands forward. We're coming into a plank posture. Tuck your back toes underneath and lift the knees from the floor. Find plank. And we're just using plank to stretch our calves. We're not going to hold it forever. So bend one of your knees and stretch the other heel, the opposite heel, towards the floor. And slowly switch from side to side. If you are like me, you'll definitely feel this right away in your calves. Both skiers and snowboarders use your calves so much, your feet, your shins, just your lower legs for stabilization the whole day while you're skiing. It's important to stretch them out. Likewise, runners, hikers, you use your lower legs a ton as well going uphill. We're all going to bend our knees and pull our hips up and back to our first downward facing dog. Allowing your knees to be bent if they need to be so that we can create more length from our hips to our shoulders and our back, our spine. And here, beginning to do the same thing, just slowly pedaling your feet, bending one knee and then the other. If there was one recovery posture I could recommend for skiers and snowboarders after a day on the mountain, it's probably just pedaling your feet in down dog, just like this. It stretches your shoulders, your back, your hips, your hamstrings, your calves, and your feet. So good. Coming into stillness, a big even breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Moving into our singular flow for this class. Pull your left knee in towards your chest and step your left foot forward between your hands. Now here's where you may want your towel. You can grab your towel and slide your towel underneath your back right knee. Coming into a low lunge here. As we inhale slowly for a count of 4, you can walk your hands up to your left knee. Know that if that is not accessible, just stay down here. Reach your heart for the front of the room for a full inhale in. Pause and a full exhale out. With the exhale, let the shoulders sink away from your ears. Hands to the floor if they're not there, and then pull your left hip back in space and half split. Your left toes flex, breathing in. 2, 3, 4. Find that pause, and exhale, sink a little lower, release the shoulders. 4, and pause. Inhale, we just move between those two postures 2 more times, nice and slow, just like that. Breathing in for a count of 4. Know you can reach your arms overhead if you want a little more sensation, and exhale. 2, 3, 4. Use the pause to sweep your hands to the floor. And rotate your hips back into half split. Full breath in. 2, 3, 4. Pause. And exhale. 2, 3, 4. And pause. Rotate forward. One last time. That static stretch is really what our muscles need after a long day of working hard on the mountain. Inhaling. 2, 3, 4. Pause. Exhale. Release the shoulders. 2, 3, 4. Pause. Sweep your hands to the floor. And pull the hips back in space. Last time. Breath in. And breath out. Inhale, rotating back into low lunge. Taking your hand wide to the edge of your mat. Finding a twist by reaching your left hand up towards the sky. Rotating the weight so it's down into your left heel. Keeping your left hand up towards the sky. Coming into a quad stretch by just flexing this right back foot and squeezing the right heel towards the glutes. So letting the foot do the work first. If you reach back and your foot and your hand are close enough to touch, you can grab your foot. If you reach back and they're not connected, don't torque your body into that pose. Just keep kicking this right heel towards your butt and you'll feel a stretch in your quad, I'm sure. Our quads do a ton of work as well as we ski and snowboard. Take a full breath in wherever you are. And again, let the exhale release, relax your shoulders, relax your face, and stretch through the quad. Good. Releasing the foot, taking the left hand to the top of the mat, both hands inside, the left foot, scoop the right toes underneath, lift the right knee, and we're walking our hands over towards the long right side of our mat. Skandasana is next. So both of our toes point towards this right side of our mat. Rotate onto the heel of the right foot, right toes go up. You're allowing your hips to sink down towards the floor. The left knee is open, Skandasana. You're gonna feel a stretch on your inner thighs. Know your hips can be high in the sky like here. Your hips can be low. It doesn't really matter. We just want this left knee tracking over the left toes, the right toes going up towards the sky. You're gonna feel a stretch in your inner thighs. Take a full breath in. Allow the right shoulder to roll down your back as you exhale. Hands to the mat, and we're walking the weight over and doing the same stretch, Skandasana, on the right side. The right knee is open, right over the right toes. The left toes are up towards the sky. Take a steady breath in for a count of 4, 2, 3, 4, and exhale. 2, 3, 4. Walking your hands back one last time on the left side. If you want a little more, you can take your left hand wide and your right hand up. Breathing in, 3, 4. Find that pause and exhale. 2, 3, 4. And pause. Good. Sweep your right hand down. Spin on the back, the ball of the right back foot, back into your lunge. This time your right knee stays lifted, and pull the hips up and back into pyramid. In this pyramid pose, know you can bend this back right knee a lot, taking your hands to frame the left foot. But I invite you to keep this left big toe glued to the mat and pull the left hip back in space. If you can keep this leg straight or straight-ish, just pushing the big toe into the mat, you're going to feel a stretch right here at the top of your foot, the front of your ankle. And that feels so good, especially for skiers. If your foot has been just locked in this flexed position in a ski boot all day, this one's one of my favorites. Just pulling your hips back. Know as you breathe, you can come out of the stretch slightly. And exhale, really bend this back right knee. Pull the left hip back. You'll feel this stretch in the front of your ankle. You can kind of wiggle your foot side to side, keeping that left big toe glued to the mat. Ooh, it feels really good. And then re-bend, plant your hands. We just step the left foot up and back, 3-legged down dog. Bend the knee just for one breath. With an inhale, re-straighten the left leg up and back. And pull the left knee towards your right elbow. Fallen triangle is next, so shoot your foot through over towards the right side. Your left hand is down. Your right hand is up towards the sky. You'll feel a stretch in your whole right side body. Next, take your right hand back to the mat. Keep your left foot where it is. You're spinning on the ball of the back right foot, so your right toes are tucked under, your right heel is lifted. Now here we're coming down into a fallen lunge stretch. So you may need to wiggle your left heel forward a little bit. It will look a little awkward to get down, and that's okay. But we want our back right foot to be back, so the back toes point towards the back of the mat. We're taking maybe your shins, maybe you stay up on your hands, but wherever you're at, you're pulling your left hip, wrapping it over to the left and backwards. You're going to feel a stretch in your whole IT band on that left side. If it's accessible, you can come down onto your forearms, allowing your shoulders to be heavy for the floor, your head to hang heavy towards the floor. Keep wrapping the left hip over and back. If you need to scooch, physically move the left hip over towards the left, you can do that. We're going to stay for 3 slow cycles of breath. Just allow gravity to do some work for your IT band, the outside of your thigh. Know that if you really don't feel a lot of sensation here, you can reach your left hand forward, lift your shoulder up towards your ear, and like thread the needle, thread the right arm underneath. So your right arm is threading the opposite direction as your left leg, bringing your right shoulder to the floor. Maybe your right ear comes to the floor as well. Know that if you're in this full variation, it's very intense. Breathe into it. It can just be a slight twist and turning your head over towards the left. And breathing in, 2, 3, 4, and pause. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, and pause. And slowly walking your hands back upright. Curl that right toe underneath so you can lift your right knee, coming back into your fallen triangle. And then stepping your left foot all the way to the back of the mat. Hips up and back, down dog. Breath in and breath out. Bend your knees. Let your knees come all the way down to the floor. Keep your toes curled underneath you. Walk the weight of your hips back over your heels. We're coming into toe stand next. So getting into our feet, keeping your toes curled underneath. Adjust if you need. Make sure the pinky toe is also involved. From here, take your hands back by your heels, starting with the right hand to the right heel. So we inhale, we're going to come up, our hips are going to move forward, left hand reaches forward, and then with a big sweeping arc of your left hand, reach your left hand over towards the right and overhead. This is like a modified camel. As you exhale, bring the hips back down, reverse that big arc back to center. So we do this with the breath, and then the left hand comes to the left heel, big sweeping arc with your right hand. As we inhale, we find that pause, and slowly exhale back down. This should feel good for the fronts of your thighs as well as your feet. Inhaling up, 3, 4. Find that pause, maybe expand your chest open towards the ceiling, and exhale, hips back down, 2, 3, 4, and pause. Again, inhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause, offer your heart up, eyes up, and then exhale, reverse. 2, 3, 4, and pause. Last time. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Pause. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Pause and inhale. Arc the right arm up and over. Pause and arc it back down. 2, 3, 4. Good. Coming to center. Know that if you need to take a break for your feet, you can. As you're ready, coming back into toe stand. One last stretch for our arms. Take your left arm out towards the left and reach the left arm up towards the sky. Take the right arm out towards the right and then reach your right hand down towards the floor. We bend both elbows. Maybe your hands touch behind. Maybe you just grab at your shirt. But you're reaching, not pulling, your right elbow for the floor, your left elbow for the sky. Inhale, grow tall from your waist up. And exhale, settle. Inhale, grow tall, reaching the crown of the head up, up, up. And then exhale, keep your arms as they are. Just let your head fall over towards the right. I feel an intense stretch from my neck and upper back. And just take very slow movements. Nod your head forward, let your chin come towards your chest. And then take that quarter circle back, right ear towards the right shoulder. Whew. When you ski and use your poles on all those catwalks, I feel it right here. Good. And inhale, bring the head back to center, release the arms, take them back out, and switch. Again, know if you need to take a break for your feet, you can come up. And as you're ready, sink back down. Full breath in, grow tall, and exhale. Inhale, grow through the crown of your head, and exhale, gently, slowly let the head come over towards the left. Feel that stretch on the right side of your neck. Subtle movement, let the chin come towards the chest, and let the head come back towards the left shoulder. Just like that. And inhale back to center. Release the hands. You can come forward into tabletop and pedal out your feet. Really nice. Curl the toes underneath you and pull the hips up and back. We do the same flow on the other side. Pulling your right knee in towards your chest, right foot between the hands. You can use your towel underneath your left knee. On an inhale, walk your hands up to your knee. And exhale, settle. With the pause, let the hands come down and pull the hips back in space. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Pause and exhale. Keep wrapping the right hip back in space. And pause. Good. Inhale, move the hips back forward, low lunge, and find a breath in. Maybe your arms reach overhead. Wherever you are with the exhale, release the shoulders. And with the pause, sweep the hands down to the mat and the hips up, then back. Last time as the pause rotates your hips forward. And inhale, arms reach up or to your knee. Exhale, release the face, release the shoulders. Sweep the hands down on the pause, pull the hips back into half splits. Inhale back into low lunge. Take your left hand wide just to the edge or maybe a little off the mat. And reach your right arm up towards the sky. Twist. Flex the left foot. Squeeze the left heel towards the left glute. If you're going to reach your arm up, then back. And if they touch, you can grab onto your foot. If not, just keep squeezing that left heel towards the left glute. Open your heart, your chest towards the sky for a full breath in. And a full breath out. Releasing the foot. Taking the hand forward to the mat. Both hands on the inside of your right foot. Curl the back left toe, lift the back knee. Moving into Skandasana on the right side. Rotating both of your toes, your hands towards the right or the left long side of the mat. Left toes point up, right knee is open. Take a full breath in. And out. Walk your hands over towards the left side. Left knee is open, left knee right over the left toes. Full breath in. 2, 3, 4, and pause, and exhale. 2, 3, 4, and pause. Walk your hands back to the right, Skandasana one more time here. If you can find an opening for your chest, reaching your right arm wide, left arm up. 2, 3, 4, pause, and exhale. 2. Feel that opening for your inner thighs. Feels so good after skiing or snowboarding. Good. Taking the left hand to the floor. Spin on the ball of the back left foot and finding this pyramid pose. So gluing your right big toe to the mat, straightening the right leg, pulling the right hip back in space, knowing you can bend this left knee as much as you'd like. Let your chest fold over the leg and find a little side to side wiggle. Feel how that changes the stretch for the front of your ankle. Breathing 2 breaths, coming up as you inhale and sinking a little deeper as you exhale. Good. Rebend the right knee. Plant both hands strong on the mat and reach the right foot up and back into 3-legged down dog. Lift the leg a little higher with your next inhale and exhale. Bend the knee, open the hip. Inhale, straighten the right leg. And exhale, pull the right knee to the left elbow. We take fallen triangle on this right side. Shoot your right foot through. Right hand down, left arm up. Full breath in. Push your hips towards the sky. And out. Circle your left hand back to the mat. So your hands are shoulder distance on the floor. Spin onto the ball of this back left foot so your left heel is lifted. You may need to scoot your right foot forward. We're coming down for this nice stretch for our IT band on the right side. So your right leg stays over there on the left side. Maybe you come down onto your hands. Your left toes are pointed straight back towards the back of your mat. We find 3 breaths here. If you need to scoot your hips a little more towards the right to feel deeper stretch in the outside of your right thigh, your right outer leg, you can do so. Now the fullest expression for the most sensation is to thread your left arm underneath your right, taking the left side of your face, your left ear to the floor. So your body's twisting in opposite ways. Your upper body is twisted towards the right. Your lower body is twisted towards the left. Take deep cleansing breaths. 2 more. Slowly unwinding. Taking your hands back to shoulder distance on the mat. Curl the back left toe underneath. Lift the back knee. And slowly step the right leg to the back of the mat to meet the left. Downward dog. Breathing in. And sigh it out through your mouth. Very nice. Pull the left knee in towards the chest. Step the left foot between the hands. And spin over towards the right side of your mat. Toes are in, heels are out. Straddle, forward fold. This one is such an amazing release after a day of skiing, a day of snowboarding, but also really wonderful after a run, after a hike, after a bike. Stretching the whole outside of all of our legs, of both of our legs, all of the muscles in our legs, I should say. You can walk your hands through the legs, pulling the torso towards the thighs. Or you can slide your hands down the outside of your calves towards your heels or towards your ankles. Wherever you are at, just find a halfway lift with your spine. Toes are still in, heels are still out. And once again, fold, maybe a little deeper this time. Releasing tension from your neck, from your face, from your shoulders. Letting your hands pedal right down underneath your chest on the floor. And slowly, little by little, heel toe your feet in to just a little wider than hip distance. As your feet come in, now we want our heels in, toes out. We're just lowering our hips down to a Yogi Squat. So both of the knees are opening towards the side. Inner thigh stretch, using your elbows to slightly push the knees maybe a little wider. Hands at your chest, breathing in. Exhale, melt tension out of your neck, out of your shoulders. Sink the hips for the floor. Good, releasing your hands, taking one hand or both behind you, bringing your butt to the mat, and just spinning so you are facing the short edge of your mat. Feet are flat on the floor, hands are forward, and we're going to roll it down. Last stretch, second to last stretch we're going to take here is nice to be assisted with a towel. So you can keep your towel in this shape. We're going to pull your right knee in towards your chest, extend your left leg long. Here, just squeeze, squeeze, squeeze this knee in as close as you can to your ribs, a compression. Big exhale. Good, now we're going to use the towel underneath the ball of your foot or underneath the arch of your foot and pull that knee in once again, having both hands on either side of the towel. And then we stretch the heel for the Sky Hamstring Stretch. Using your breath in this stretch. So as you inhale, you can either bend in the knee or you can just back out of the stretch. With the exhale, straighten or pull the leg a little closer. The exhale is where you find a little more depth. One more time like that. Inhale, back off. Exhale, dig in. Good. Know you can have a nice bend in your knee as you do this as well. You'll still feel a stretch in your hamstring. Now take the towel in the right hand and pulling the knee in tight by your ribs. We're just opening the knee can be bent, over towards the right. Reach the left hand over towards the left. Keep this left hip anchored to the floor. Breathing in and out. Inhale back to center. Switch the grip on the towel. You grip it in your left hand. Reach your right hand over towards the right. This time your right hip can come off the floor. And you're reaching your right foot over towards the left. No, your knee again can be bent. This one I really feel again in the IT band, the outside of the right thigh bone, the right calf. Inhale back to center. And stretch. And bend the knee. Release the towel. And take the foot out long. Pull the right knee in towards the chest. Just hug the shin bone in tight by your side. Compression first. This compression of your knee in towards your chest can help release tightness, tension in your low back. And as you're ready, loop the towel under the ball or the arch of this left foot. Left knee is bent. And reach the heel for the sky. Take 3 breaths at your pace. Inhaling, preparing. Exhale, sinking deeper into the hamstring stretch. Taking the towel in the left hand after 3 breaths, reaching the right arm over towards the right. I pull the knee in by bending the knee and pulling the thigh bone in tight by the ribs, and then opening over towards the left with the leg. Inhale, coming up, switch the grip of the towel, and let the leg come over towards the right. Inhale back up to center. Release the towel and extend the left leg long. Last active stretch here is, I think it's called clock face pose, and it's for our shoulders. So pull your knees in, feet on the floor, bend the knees. We're just going to come to lay on our side, on the right side. Extend your right arm straight forward from your chest, and your left arm is on top. We want our right shoulder and our right underneath our body. So hips stacked, shoulders stacked. And as we breathe, we're just going to make a really big circle with our right arm. So as you inhale, take the arm overhead. And then as you exhale, continue to circle. Open the chest, reaching the left arm over towards the left. You'll feel the deepest stretch right here. With the next inhale, sweep the hand down towards the side. And exhale, the arm right back on top of the right hand. This is an amazing stretch for your shoulder. Really good after a day of skiing and snowboarding. Whether that's using your shoulders to turn on a snowboard or using your shoulders to pull you along the flat spots if you're a skier. And exhale, hands come back to stack on top of one another. 2 circles the opposite way. Inhaling your hands down to your hips first. And exhale, open your chest up, left hand to the left. Inhale, left arm over ear. And exhale, hands back to stack. One more time. Inhale, arm down. Exhale, open. Inhale overhead, just a fluid, slow circle of the arm. Exhale to stack. Really nice. I find that one to feel so good. Equally good just after a long day of working and being in one shape. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So you might need to scooch over and switch so that you're laying on the left side. Shoulders stacked, hips are stacked, right hand stacked on top of the left hand. And as you inhale, circle the right arm over the ear. And exhale, the right arm over towards the right, open. Oh, it feels so good. Inhale the right arm down to stack on top of the hip. And exhale, circle it forward, back to the original position. Again, just like that. Inhale overhead. Finding that slow count of 4 breath. Exhale over towards the side. Pause. Inhale down. 2, 3, 4. And pause. And exhale. 2, 3, 4. Now reverse. The hand comes down as you inhale. Exhale, arm comes over towards the right, open. Inhale, right arm overhead. Exhale, hand back to stack on top of left. One more time. Inhale, the arm down. Exhale, the arm open. Inhale, the arm up. And exhale, right hand on top of left. And rolling yourself back onto your back. Taking your head flat on the floor. And squeeze your knees into your chest. Give them a nice hug. Lastly, we will take happy baby pose. But know that if there's any other stretch that you need to round out your practice, to feel a little more open, released from skiing and snowboarding all day, maybe a pigeon pose or a reclined pigeon pose, you are welcome to take that. Now, with happy baby, you're grabbing the outside edges of your feet, pulling your knees down towards the floor. This action releases your lower back. I like to straighten one leg at a time and then the other. And once you feel like you have stretched out as much as you need, taken any last pose that your body is asking for, you can give your knees one last final hug, squeezing them in towards your body. And then exhale, release your heels to the floor, stretching your legs out nice and long. Lifting your shoulder blades to then spread them out even wider across your mat, opening your arms low and wide into a big V. Take a big inhale in. And a big sigh out through the mouth. Settling down into your Shavasana. Releasing all the effort from this day, from this class. Slowly begin to bring your awareness back. Bringing some movement to your fingers and to your toes. And pull your feet closer into hip distance if they're wider. And sweeping your arms up overhead. We find a full body stretch as we inhale, reach heels and hands in opposite directions. And exhale, release the shoulders to the floor. Coming onto your side, resting your head on your arm, taking your time to get there. Taking a breath in and finding a moment of gratitude for your body. For being able to move through all the postures of this class and being able to move you through all the other favorite types of movement, exercise, skiing, snowboarding, biking, running, walking, whatever it may be for you, finding a moment of gratitude for your body. And slowly pushing yourself upright. We find a seated, cross-legged position on your mat. Rolling the shoulders down the back, stacking the head over the shoulders, over the hips. Hands to your knees. And blink your eyes open if they're not there. Let's take one last breath together as a class. Reach your hands up. Touch the palms overhead. And pull the hands down to heart center. The divine light in me recognizes and sees the divine light in you. Namaste. Thank you all so much for joining me today for this class. I hope if you are out enjoying all the mountain things, the winter activities, that this class brings a little bit of recovery and release for your muscles after playing and working hard. If you have any questions, comments, please drop them in the comment box. Hit like, hit subscribe on this channel if you want to see more yoga videos in the future. And I hope you have a great week. Thank you.